If you have any fears, I mean, big fears, fears about survival, fears about the future, fears about how your life is going to be, and it's eating you up inside, I want you to stop and just listen. Because today I spoke about my fears, my greatest fears, something that I've been holding on to for this past year. It was something related to success, something related to money, something related to not wanting to lose what was most valuable to me. And after talking about it and some crying and some just real being honest with myself and the person I was talking to, I realized like what I was afraid of was not even close to reality, or at least in the sense of it wasn't, it's not going to happen and it won't happen. And I think it was a reminder and a great reminder and a reminder that I'm currently grateful for that the mind is not absolute reality. Even if these constant thoughts come up, it is not ultimate truth. It is not ultimate reality. It's an abstraction. And so a lot of people are trapped in their fears and their thoughts and their beliefs because they're looking at thought. They're not looking at life and reality. And it's a very liberating and enlightening feeling, at least it was for me, to have that alchemization and be like, oh, my fear is not real. My fear is not something that's ever going to happen. My fear is not something I need to worry about. And I'm grateful for that because it reminded me like life and often the mind can make presumptions of life and make perceptions that are often not inherently real or true. Oftentimes they're a matter of pattern and circumstances and situations and fears and blockages from the past and trauma. So when we take the time to acknowledge and address that, we have the opportunity to release that from our being, you know? We are given the opportunity to alchemize that process and finally let it go. That's a very powerful thing, tears. Like I said, I cried today and I'm grateful because it was powerful and it definitely helped me shift and release what I was holding on to. And it's just like a lot of times I think people don't want to talk about what they're afraid of. One, because they don't want it to happen, but two, because they're scared. They're just petrified. And it does take some strength to be able to be comfortable enough to talk about that. And if you were fortunate enough to have someone that you could talk to that with, like, that's a great thing. And I recommend, talking about that. So you can realize like maybe your fear isn't something that's so like heavy and maybe you're not seeing things the way that you could be. And in addition, like even if you don't have that, there are always more opportunities to talk to yourself. You can journal, you can talk to your pet, you can literally talk to a camera, talk to your phone, just talk to yourself in general, like um just to be able to get that out and release that and feel through and talk through it. Like you can even talk to yourself and have both sides of the conversations. Be someone who's a neutral perspective and just be you talking. Like seems childish, but like for real though, I think it's good to be able to talk about these things. And this is coming from someone who had bottled up a lot of trauma in my past, and I think like being able to have someone to be able to speak about that with is something I'm so incredibly grateful for because like even if I've done a lot of healing work myself and been a lot of like doing a lot of internal things, like if something lingers like a pattern or habit, like I can explain that to someone and then really like not only take the time for myself to understand myself, but finally, like, let go of that burden that had been on my shoulders that I've been carrying because I'd addressed it. And it's kind of like, wow, sometimes it's really just that easy just to be able to talk about things, and then let go of that burden and let go of the things that are weighing us down. So, if you feel like you got those fears and weights and just things that are really weighing you down, genuinely, I recommend you find some time to address it. And addressing it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be like doing anything physical about it as far as like, oh, I need to, I'm afraid of this, so I'm gonna, I'm afraid of heights, so I'm gonna go, skydiving or whatever. Like, you know, it's dramatic, but like just addressing it and be like, oh, I was afraid of this because of this, and that's okay. And just being honest about how you feel and what the situation is, and letting it pass when it's the time to pass. And so I think, at the end of the other side of that experience, you can look back and be like, wow, I'm grateful. I'm grateful I don't feel that weight. I feel lighter. I feel more like myself and more able to take on, I think, life. It's a lot of gratitude with it. And yeah, I recommend you try it. Also, if you want to join me in live meditation, or even if you don't have anyone to talk to about these things, like, I'm available for that. You can find links for those both in the description below on my Patreon. Like, let's talk, let's meditate, let's be here, let's be present. And, I can help y'all out more than just, a one-way conversation on this camera and this YouTube channel. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for taking the time to just listen to this message, and I hope you take the time to really just talk about and address what's going on within you. And I know you'll come out on the other side grateful and lighter. One love. I'll catch you later. Peace.